Yeah, he's processing. He's processing. There's some things he's trying to come. There's some things he has to work through. There's some things he needs to realize about himself. This is kind of like my misalignment card, the Nine of Wands. Hello everyone, my name is LotusMaje, and today you see the thumbnail, you see the title, today I am doing a reading on Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. This reading has come across my mind because of recent events that has transpired where Justin Bieber has unfollowed his wife, Hailey Bieber, and this has happened not long after they have welcomed a son, I want to say, or they at least welcomed a child. I won't try to guess the child's gender, but they have welcomed a new addition to their family, and this is amidst the whole trial situation with none other than P. Diddy. And this is also following soon after he shortly unfollowed Usher on Instagram, I think it was. Corrects me if I'm wrong. But this is also pulling back to a reading I did last year, not too long ago, where people were saying that they believe Justin Bieber was having some kind of emotional breakdown, and people were just saying, no, he was just processing things, or he was just having a hard time, or whatever. And I pretty much alluded to that there was something I think that he was processing in the sense of like a lot of past traumas maybe that came up between his time being managed by P. Diddy. This was something I was kind of getting then, and I couldn't really delve into it because this is YouTube. But I want to come back and do a follow-up reading here. But if you do want to see that reading, you can see it here. It will be linked with the iCard up here. So you can go find it, and the accompanying thumbnail should also pop up on the screen so you know what thumbnail to look for, so you know what you're looking at. But without further ado, I would like to welcome you all here. Thank you all for returning. And if you are new here, welcome, welcome. If you did not know or you did not realize, the cards on the screen are not just regular, any old cards. These are tarot cards. So if tarot is something that does not resonate with you, or you don't like it, or you think it's blasphemous, etc., or you just don't like tarot readings, here's your moment of time to click off, because I do use this along with numerology, geomancy, astrology, my own intuition, to kind of pick up on anything that may resonate or that may come through for these people, or for the celebrities and whoever I may be doing a reading on. I am an intuitive reader, so there is room for me to be wrong, but I try to interpret what I'm picking up on as best as possible. So with all of that being said, if you are okay with moving forward, we will continue. But if not, thank you for watching, and may you find something else on the corner and recesses of YouTube that better resonates with you. In the meantime, the rest of us who will be moving forward, please also be aware that tarot should not be used as an end all be all, especially not my readings. Even though I am a large percent of the time correct, especially for a human, I'm not going to be 100%. So, a large portion of the time I am correct, or it may come down the pipe months, weeks, years in the future. I do try to present as accurately as possible, but in case of the event that I am wrong, all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. But this is, no, seriously, this is entertainment, and this is an intuitive reading. So energies are allowed to change. They do change. So if I just get something wrong, I get something wrong. If I get it right, I get it right. And sometimes I split hairs on things, oftentimes, but that's my readings, okay? So with all of that being said, let's get into this. You can tell I am rusty. This is kind of like one of my first videos that I am doing since the year of 2025. I have been kind of like I've been doing a Nikki. I've been on hiatus. Just trying to deal with some things behind the scenes, some changes. Some of them for good, some of them for worse, or some of them feel like they're for worse, and some of them feel like they're for the best. But, that's life. You got to keep it moving. I know one of those large overarching things that's influencing a lot of people's life, if you haven't been realizing or keeping up with things, we have a new president here in America. So there's some adjustments with that is coming on, some mental preparation on my part that has been kind of like coming up. So yeah, not that I'm like overly concerned because, life moves on one way or another. You gonna make it through. But yeah, but there's been a couple of other life changes that has been happening for me. So yeah, again, some of them exciting, some of them not. Some of them I do hope to share with you all in the near future, but we shall see it because I also don't want to bite off more than I can chew. All right, let's get into this energy for Justin and Hailey. All right. And I had a whole book just explode out of my hands with the Five of Cups being one of the ones that stuck around. Now, what is that? When I say I had cards explode, all of this came falling out, came tumbling out. Okay? Just so you all know. And I'm not going to note these. I usually, if it's a few of them, I usually note them because I feel like sometimes it's energy telling me, like, hey, you need to probably know a little bit of this for the cards that's about to pop out later. But yeah, let's try this again. Okay, so I have my 3 cards here for Justin. Why did Justin unfollow Hailey? The underlying cards here, I'm going to pull out the 8 of Cups. Yeah, he's processing. He's processing. There's some things he's trying to come. There's some things he has to work through. There's some things he needs to realize about himself. This is kind of like my misalignment card, the 9 of Wands. You're trying to get things back in focus. You're out of alignment. You're not resonating with what you want to do and how you do things with your passion, your spirit, your calling. And so you're trying to get back in alignment with that. And then we also have the 7 of Disc here. This is working through something, but probably not in the proper way. Not in the proper way, or it may not be happening as fast as you may want it. But we do have the 9 of Swords here, and usually this, again, it should be very evident what this kind of brings up for me. This is a lot of mental anguish, anxiety, nightmares, things you're afraid of coming out, things coming to the light, the back and forth. You're stuck between a lot of mental processes. It's kind of like when your mind is running a mile a minute and there's a lot that you're working through. He also has the Hangman's here, having to see something from a different perspective, something he's afraid of coming to the light, something that he's probably processing, things that he knows probably eventually going to come, and he's trying to probably come to terms with it. He's trying to see it from a different light. Again, with the Hanged Man, you do have kind of like the ray of sunshine behind his head. So there is some, it almost makes me want to say manic depressive. I don't know if this is even an order because I'm not a licensed clinician, therapist, psychiatrist at all. So this is with a grain of salt. I am not a doctor, but I want to say this feels like, or somebody would describe it as a manic depressive disorder. Like something tipped the scales here and made him go off on a deep end. Then we also have the 8 of Cups here. I'm moving on. I'm processing something. I'm ready to walk my path. What path do I need to walk or follow in order to get through this? Or to at least, why do I want to say this? Or to at least tell my story. I want to be able to tell my story the way I want to tell my story and not have someone else telling my story, like coloring my story. I don't know why that's coming up, but that's something that's coming up here. And then we also have the Hermit and the High Priestess here. Is that good? I'm sorry, my camera switched out. Okay, so with the Hermit and the High Priestess being here, I just keep I there's something he know, or that maybe he's afraid that Hailey knows, and maybe she's telling him to like be quiet about it, but I feel like he doesn't want to be quiet about it, or he's afraid of her finding out. Okay, I'm trying to hold in on what this emotion is that I'm getting. Is he afraid of her finding out, or he feels like she know and he doesn't want to admit it? Because then that will bring up a lot. That's opening up a chest of drawer he ain't ready to open. And so he's isolating himself. He seems like he's somebody who processes and handles a lot of the things that he's going through very much by himself. He has a hard time trusting people, letting people in because of some of the things that he has gone through. Mm. Let's see what else we're going to get here. And this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. This is not truth. Okay, this is just some girl on the internet reading cards. That's it. Okay, addicted. Okay, so I have a couple cards here. Queen of my world, revenge, and then peaceful amongst the thorns. I'm gonna throw these back in here and see if one of these come back out again. Let's see. I feel like this is the card. Triumph of lies. See, this is making me go back to the I want to be able to tell my story when and how I want to tell my story. And from my perspective, I don't want somebody else coloring my story or telling my story or revealing something that I don't want. I want it to be how and when I want. Like you have to, okay, I, you have taken every other option and choice from me in this situation. The one thing you could leave me is the choice and the option of telling my story or saying my story in the way that I want. That's the least you could do. That's what's coming up. And I feel like he is unfollowing her, and I feel like he might not be on social media as much because there's does seem to be a lot of pressure from the public for him to speak, and he either doesn't want to or he isn't ready to. That's what I think this is. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna count this other card too, because I don't know if you heard it, but it like flew across my room and hit my desk. Masquerade. Revenge and masquerade. Somebody not appearing the way that they seem to be on the surface. The revenge card coming up in reverse to me seems like I'm trying to I'm pausing because I'm trying to pinpoint the right words for this, like how to explain it. The revenge card is somewhat concerning to me because it's almost like I'm not doing this out of revenge, but it almost feels like I'm doing it out of just being like, what they call it, like not ironic or spiteful. Somebody doing something out of spite, maybe. I don't know how to explain it, you guys. I'm sorry. I was trying to kind of pull the thread and figure it out, but then it escaped me. The addicted. He's still deciding. Okay, and this is no shade to him. It almost feels like he's addicted to being the victim. He's addicted to being the victim or appearing as the quiet one. Um he's used to, whenever it feels like, again, it feels like it's a trigger. This whole situation feels like a trigger, and it seems like every single time it comes up, it triggers him to go into flight mode, and he immediately retreats into himself or into whatever other vice or whatever he may have or process that he may have in order to work through this, and he just kind of like shut down. I think that's what the addicted card is here. There's a certain habit, a tale that he does every single time he's like triggered or this comes up, and it triggers him, and he goes back to it, and it almost seems like he just comes off always like he loves to portray himself as a victim, but it's not really him be like leaning into the victimhood, because I do think there was some things that has transpired during his time under P. Diddy and Usher, but I think there's more so a thing of like, it's like somebody who has what is that? Is that the if you all seen the movie The Accountant, you know how he it's a certain ritual he has to do all the time before he can start counting money. He has to set everything up, and he has to blow his hands, and he says something else, and then he can start counting and doing everything. That's almost what it feels like. People see it as being victimhood or him like lashing out or acting crazy, but it's his process, it's his tick, it's his religion, it's his ritual. The triumph of lies here. Again, this is going back to that thing of like, I want to tell my story the way I want to tell my story, when I want to tell my story, and if I want to tell my story. I don't want to feel pressured by this. I don't want somebody steady nagging me about it. I don't want to keep getting triggered by this. I wish this all could kind of be behind me. There's a lot of upset energy. I'm like rocking back and forth like yeah, you guys, we need to be patient and understanding. Leave the boy alone. This is kind of eerily reminiscent of the whole Britney Spears situation before she got into the whole conservatorship. Like when she was shaving her head and lashing out, and world was crumbling, and she was doing like questionable actions. Seems like people are doing the same thing with Justin Bieber. Like the public has not learned. We have here, look, protective, that protective energy. So I'm ready to walk away, being overbearing, or feeling overburdened. What is this here? Oh, the sun is coming up in reverse this time. And then we also have the letter. This immediately made me think of like a court summons, but that could just be me being wishful thinking here. There's two things I'm getting with this dog. This is the underlying energy, mind you, okay? So, dog usually is somebody who it speaks to like a friend, somebody who's loyal, somebody who's dependable, somebody you can lean on, etc., etc. But remember earlier, I got this revenge card. Remember that? Remember revenge there? Or sorry, masquerade. I feel like these two are linked to one another. Somebody pretended to be my friend or saying they were my friend when they weren't. What else is under here? Oh, and what else? A ring, an agreement, a promise, a commitment that was broken. Again, I said it feels like that masquerade and revenge. Somebody who betrayed themselves or said they were my friend and there to help me, and they really weren't. And there's again the sun in the letter. There's some things that I don't want revealed at this time, or I don't want revealed at all, or I don't want to speak about it. I don't want to be reminded about it. And if it is something that I'm willing to say or to do, I want it to be on my own terms. I want to be able to control the narrative and what the narrative is, and if there is even a narrative at all. Again, the letter can speak to legal stuff as well, is what I was getting, but this can also speak to things that I would rather have written down and thrown in the fire and never have it revealed. It can speak to, messaging. It can speak to it, sometimes the letter sometimes can be like the social media card to me as well. It's more so when I have the birds though. When I usually have the birds, that more so speaks to like social media. But the letter here, it can also speak to like agreements, contracts. Is there something he can't say because of a contract or an agreement or some NDA, maybe? Is that why he's so conflicted? Mm. This well is deeper than you think. I feel with when it comes to Justin Bieber. Still waters run deep with this one for sure. You all just keep them in your thoughts. And what may all things done in the dark come to light with this situation. Whether he wants it to or not, I think it should come to the light, because otherwise it's just going to create a pool for other victims, and we'll be back here doing a reading on somebody else. So may it all come to, what's all done in the dark come to light. May that be cleansed away, and may he find some healing and some support during this time. I really hope that for him, especially with you welcoming a newborn. And I wonder if that could be the other hang up and situation that he's having, because now he's a father, and there may be some choices or actions or behaviors or things that has happened in the past that he would rather not have come out because he's a dad now, which is completely understandable. There's a lot of us, some of the things we've done in the past, if my kids don't ever find out about it, I would be happy. Okay. But we all live and learn. We all have to be stupid at some point, if not continuously, because you're steady growing. As long as you're alive, you're steady growing and changing and learning. So hopefully. But let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. This is heavy. I need to hold on. Need to breathe in some of this smoke really quick. Cleanse myself. Let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe, share, and comment on this video. If there is something that you would like to share, hit that notification bell so you can see the next time I upload. Yeah, just wishing him the best, seriously. I know we're going to be coming back to this again. My chest is feeling tight. All right, I got to wrap this up. All right, see you all in the next video, and you have a great night or day wherever you are. May you all be blessed and covered in light and protection and love. Yeah, I gotta go. Bye. I would not be surprised if that boy was having like anxiety attack, because there is a lot he is processing and going through. There's a lot of mental struggle and turmoil going on there. There's a lot of back and forth. I'm tired just reading the energy.